So I recently purchased an RF Explorer spectrum analyzer, and so far I've been pretty happy with it. One of the things that I found interesting is that they open source the software for it, so you can actually access the data and write your own software around it. In this case, what you can see here is I've written a visualizer. It's a 3D waterfall presentation of the data, and you can see what I'm doing right now is I'm just choosing different points. There's a frequency of 1284. This one has a frequency of 1289, so you can see that. And so right now I'm not really broadcasting anything, but I will do that. In fact, I've got a video transmitter. It's a wireless video transmitter, and I'm going to plug it in, and you'll see what that looks like. It has a carrier frequency of, there it goes, of 1280 megahertz. So you can see that. Let's see here. So I'm choosing that carrier frequency again. That's 1280 megahertz. And if you're familiar with the NTSC standard, it has a 6 megahertz bandwidth. So you can see that's 1285.8. So that's pretty close to 6 megahertz. And this one on the left is 1274.4. So again, I think it's kind of interesting to see that. Again, this is just it's a hobby grade spectrum analyzer, but it seems to work quite well, and it's got a pretty fast refresh rate. Again, that of course depends on your frequency span, but what I've done here now is I've actually plugged in the camera. So before I just had the video transmitter on with no camera plugged into it, and now I have a camera plugged in and sending out the signal from the camera. So you now have a lot more amplitude data. and this 1277.7, so 2.3 megahertz off from the carrier frequency of 1280 is what seems to be, maybe that's the chroma carrier. Anyway, it's kind of cool to see that. And let's see, with this you're able to pan, zoom, and rotate, which is kind of nice. Okay, so the camera has the cap on it, or it did. Now I've just removed the cap from the camera, so you can see with it now being exposed to the lighting in the room, certainly now you're presented with a lot more information, and so it's really kind of cool, I think, to be able to look at that actual signal data. And again, with this program, you can click on a point of interest, and then it will hold that, and you can see that in the top right corner. So now I'm going to put the cap back on the camera, so you can see the difference there with and without the cap on. And then I'll also go back to having the camera unplugged, which is what you saw originally. So there it goes. The camera is now unplugged, so we're just transmitting with no camera signal. And then I'll go back to powering off the video transmitter. And there it goes. So I think that's kind of cool, really. I've certainly got a little bit more to explore with this device, but it certainly seems to be quite capable for what, it was only $250. So I don't think that's, as far as these kind of devices go, that's a pretty good deal, I think. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you.